Alright, so today we have a K7000 that was sent to me that is blowing the HOT and some other issues. However, before we get to this, obviously I have this upside down because the other side has my information and the person that sent it to me information. I'm going to I'm going to open it from the bottom side, but I do want to go back and mention that one of my subscribers was kind enough to explain to me that on the previous two videos with the K7000B and the K7000C, or more specifically the machines that you use the touchscreen poker games, they are factory mods for those to reduce the static on the screen so you don't get zapped or have static shock when you're touching the screen. So this is a factory mod that was on those chassis for that purpose. So very much thanks to that person for helping me out on that. And the K7000C, the video prior to this one, this little bracket that was on the corner, turns out that's something that's only on exclusively to the 13-inch K7000. So I haven't noticed this before because I haven't come across too many 13-inch K7000s, but the chassis was marked as a 19, so I think whoever took these out of the machines they were in possibly mismarked this one, the K7000C, as a 19-inch, but it doesn't matter regardless. It's still compatible with the 19 and 13. But that's the story behind this thing, is this is on the 13-inch, and that's that K7000C in the video prior to this one was the 13-inch version of the K7000, but it had this same mod as well with the focus wire going to ground. So that was the explanation behind this, was that it is to reduce the static on the screen because you're physically touching the screen as opposed to being behind glass. So it's to reduce that static buildup on the screen, and this is part of the 13-inch chassis. So a little bit of backstory on those. If you watch those videos prior to this one, you'll understand. So thank you very much to that person. Let me give them a shout out here real quick because I think I have it available. I didn't prepare. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Where did they go? Zach Gutzmer, G-U-T-Z-M-E-R, Zach Gutzmer. Thank you very much, Zach, for pointing out that information on those chassis. I do appreciate it, because now I know. I learned something, and now you've learned something. Alright, so anyway, here we have a K7000, and it's blowing HOTs. Let me bring up the actual, what the actual person told me. He said, let's see here. Let's see, 2 weeks ago, it was the chassis was working fine, and then 2 weeks ago, the screen went black and never came back on. No neck glow. He changed the HOT and the voltage regulator, and still nothing. Was getting lower than 100 volts on the B+. He was working on it for a month and had no luck. So basically, I guess it's not blowing HOTs. It was working, and then it died. And he tried to repair it by replacing the HOT and the voltage regulator, and it still isn't quite working for him. So he sent it to me. I offered to take a look. So now that we're 3 minutes in on this long intro, sorry about that, let's open this up and take a look. It is not working, and the HOT and voltage regulator have been replaced. So let's see what we can figure out. Out of here. It's got his address on it, so I don't want to show that. So we'll set that aside. And I hate when they tape this up because I can't unwrap it. I end up tearing the bubble wrap, so I can't reuse it. So I can't undo this tape without ripping the bubble wrap, and then I can't reuse the bubble wrap. So if you're going to tape it up, use masking tape, not packing tape. Alright, here we go. Oh, this is a small neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a small neck 19,000. And we can tell because it's quite common to have the small neck have all of the pots on the actual board, as well as you can see that this has, instead of having all 6 pots across the top, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they got 4 on top and 2 on the side. And if we look here, like I explained in the last videos, we've got 7 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the large neck uses 9 pins and the small neck uses 7. So it's a dead giveaway. This is a small neck K7000, so we'll be able to show that off here. I don't know what's going on with this fuse holder. That's the first thing I see. This is, well, the fuse is no good. Oh, I see, it broke, and he was using some type of different one to clip onto what was left of this, so I'll fix that. But we can see here that the, oh no, it's fine. Okay, I thought that the end of the fuse was moving around, but it's actually moving inside the holder here, so we may actually be able to use this one here, but I'll get the proper one. I have plenty of these boards as donors to go around, so we'll steal that and fix that. That's problem 1. Problem 2 is that we've got a screw sticking here to the linearity coil that I see, so that needs to go away. I think he mentioned something about dropping a screw and never found it. Well, here it is. Actually, let me see if he was that this person. I'm just curious. Hang on one second. He says no, that was someone different talking about dropping a screw and never finding it. Okay, well, our power wires are cut right off. That's convenient. Otherwise, it seems intact. 250/47, yeah. Caps seem okay. Zoom out a bit, sorry. Well, here's casualty number 1. Our contrast pot's broken. You can see the contrast pot is broken, so we'll have to fix that. Any other ones broken? No, the rest of them all seem okay, so we'll have to fix the contrast pot. We have to fix the fuse holder. Anything else we got going on here? That's why it's important to check everything before you dive too quickly into it. Our neck board pots all seem okay. We're going to mark these where they were, or where they are, I should say. We're going to mark these where they are. And then we're going to put them to center. That way he can, or I can put them back where they were before I ship it back. That way he doesn't have to worry about redoing his colors, assuming they were correct in the first place. So we're going to wipe these back and forth and then put them in the center. So we have a good baseline of colors, because I know the tube that we're testing this on is good. Alright. Everything else seems okay. Our DAG wires connected. Alright. Our color transistors aren't loose, so I think we're good there. Alright, let's turn this over. See what the back looks like. Well, not too bad. Fairly clean. Some of the solder work is not that great. Like there's just a big blob here instead of a nice solder joint. There's just a big blob right here. You can see. So that's not. Oh, actually, where is that at? It wasn't this one. It is that one. That's a broken joint. Sorry. Let's see here. Oh, focus, focus. You can kind of see that wiggling. This one here with the blob. You can see as I move it. I think that is a broken trace. We can find out here very quickly. Let's get the meter and zoom out a bit. Okay, our meter's good. So this is in common with this. Yep, there we go. So you can see I have no continuity when I push on it. I lost it. There, continuity, no continuity. Continuity. Yep. We've got a broken trace there, so that's problem number 3. We'll have to fix that. Anything else here? This oxidized pad, that's normally, of course, the problem area we always have. This right here across this resistor. This pad's oxidized and heat damaged, so we'll have to change that. You know, the normal stuff, I have lots of videos on what to check and what to inspect, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and fix all this stuff, and then we'll see what else we find. He replaced the HOT and he replaced the voltage regulator. So it was working fine, and then it died. And in the troubleshooting process, he changed the HOT and voltage regulator and never could get it to power back up. Also did a cap kit. So we're going to have to inspect the cap kit work, which initial inspection seems okay. But I don't know if the damaged trace or the broken trace here happened during the repair work or happened initially. I can't say, but we'll fix that. So all right, everything else, oh nope, here is D18. Let's look at the leg here on D18. This is not good. Look at that. That is not good at all. You can see I can move it around. I don't even, oh holy shit, both sides move. Look at over here when I move this. Yep. Is that trace broken too? Well, I've never seen that before. Let's test this and see here. Okay. Well, it seems okay, but it's hard to tell. Either way, we'll have to fix that as well. So D18's foobarred. Yeah. Oh, and he changed the flyback as well, it looks like. So flyback, HOT, voltage regulator, and cap kit has been done, but I don't know if D18 was messed up during this process, or it was part of the original issue, or the horizontal coil on the yoke damaged it, but it is definitely no good. Both sides are flopping around. Oh, before I go further, everything else seems okay. All right. Well, let's get to let's do the rework on here, including changing out the fuse holder, replacing the contrast pot, and then we'll do all of our testing on everything, because maybe it will power up if we fix this broken trace and fix the connections on D18. It might just power up if everything tests good, and then, you know, a nice quick easy fix, because there won't be any need to really do much else. So let's get that going. I'm going to turn my fan on. I really need a fume extractor, but for the time being, I'll use the fan. The corner here is busted, so it doesn't really matter because it's one giant ground plane here, so it's not a big deal. But Alright, so first thing here is I'm going to fix D18. I'm actually going to remove the solder and remove D18 completely. And then we'll get the fiberglass pen and fix these pads. Okay. Oh, that's a, yeah, that whole pad's a goner. Yeah. Both these pads are absolutely gone. I've never seen D18 just demolish these pads. Like, I mean, there wasn't even any solder that came off of them. It just was disintegrated. So there's D18 removed. Yanked it right out. And I guess we'll test it later, but I'm going to set it aside where the fuse and that fuse holder piece were. And now what we'll do is get the fiberglass pen and fix up these pads here, or what's left of what I can. And there you go. That will be much better. Okay, so let's test our D18, make sure it works. Do I have D18 is shorted. Well, that would explain it, why those pads burned up. D18 is a goner. Well, that could, I don't know if that's because his yoke shorted. I'm very skeptical of the yoke, because usually D18 doesn't go bad unless the yoke shorts out, because it's right across the two coils. Let's see if I got one I can steal. I do. It's out of a K7000A here, so we'll have to make this work. Which might be difficult because it's thicker than that one. But let's see if I can yank this out of here, because it's not going to be easy. Well, there it is. So we'll set the donor aside. Set that there. Does this one work? It does. Alright, so now let's see what we get. We may have to put it on the back side. I don't think these holes are big enough. They are absolutely not big enough. So we're going to have to put this on the back side. Now the anode side, I believe, is the side with the stripe, but it goes this way. So when we turn it around, that would mean it has to go this way. So what we'll have to do here is I'm going to bend the lead. Now ideally you'd want to replace this with the correct part and put it through on the top side, but this should be just fine. Let's cut that there. And There. Alright, negative goes this way. Okay. So let's fill this up here. And this one. Really? Huh. Well, this doesn't like... doesn't like solder. Yep. Alright, flux time, you little bastard. We're gonna cheat. That is here. You don't want to do what I say, and we're gonna take desperate measures here. You don't like the desperate measures either, do you? Huh. Come on. Well, it's not going to work. We're going to have to scrape away this oxidation on here. That's going to be the only way that I'm going to be able to get anything to stick to this. Sorry for the terrible camera action there, but let's see if we can get a bit closer here. Get a little closer with the Arid Extra Dry. Alright, that should work. Now we gotta bend that down. You know what I should do is this. Now we're going to be in business. Sorry about that. Just got the fiberglass pen on this to scrape away the oxidation on the leg. Let's put a little flux on here. Let's try it on this side again. Outstanding. That's much easier than the other side. There we go. That will work. Not beautiful, but it will serve its purpose and it will make it work. Negative is on this side, which would translate negative to this side, so we're good. Alright, test good in circuit It does, but you can't see. Now we're talking, and as it cools down, it'll go higher for 4.6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so as it cools down, it'll get higher. So we're good there. What else? Okay, let's fix our this leg of, I think it's R101. Yep, R101, this guy right here. Let's take this leg out. Okay, leg is out. Let's clean up the pad. Okay, put the leg back in. Oh, yep, that pad was loose. It's so hot that it's so fragile that it's just basically disintegrating, and it's gone. God dang it. Well, be nice if you could see. Sorry. Okay, that should be all right. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll solder it in that way. Okay. The leg of the resistor is oxidized as well, so I'm going to have to take this out and clean this resistor leg here. Okay, that should be good. All right. Now, let's take all this back off here. Okay, that should work. It looks god-awful. There we go. Push it through a bit more. That'll work. Okay. All right, I'll be happy with that. The other side has a whole shitload of solder on it. And yep, that pad is gone. So is this one. Be nice if you could see. Sorry about that. Try and get rid of the glare here. Take that out of there. Okay, that should be alright. This side here. Take that out. Well, need to expose a bit more of that. That's better. Okay, so let's get this back in there. Let's get this back in there. Let's get this back in there. Thank you. And let's solder it back in place. Alright, solder this guy back in place. Beautimus. Well, we got a nice shiny dome right there, and a nice shiny dome right there, and a nice shiny dome on my head. So, let me get a drink of my cold snack here. And I don't like this one here either. Okay, well, that's better. Get rid of all that solder. Okay, that's good. All right, so we got D18 taken care of. We got D18 taken care of. We got I think 96. Is that what that is? 89. Well, we got R89 taken care of. R101 taken care of. So let's grab anything else we see that might look suspicious. Video headers are looking very dry. Flyback could use a bit more. Everything else seems okay. I'm fairly certain it's not powering up because D18 was shorted and we had issues with R101 and R89. And we've also got what looks like broken solder on the horizontal width coil. That could have also taken out D18. If I just noticed this going through and looking, if you look here on this pad on the coil, right here you can see that the solder joint is broken. So that needs to be fixed. That could definitely cause it. That's why it's important to inspect and reflow not just the usual suspects, but take a good look over everything. This pad here is kind of all oxidized and messed up. Let's fix that. Voltage regulator, we haven't checked it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and just reflow a bit. And I think our corner is done for, but just take it off of there. Not necessary. Okay. Got our C36 here that will reflow, assuming it's good. We'll find out here shortly. All right. Okay, I think that should suffice for what we should need to do at the moment. Let me hit C38 here. C38 looks kind of haggard. Actually, I'm sorry. C38 is these two. These two here are C38. This is another resistor here that goes across the linearity coil, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's R99. So disregard that. Let's grab this one here. Okay. Okay, it's testing time. Testing time. Turn all of the lights down so we can see the display. Of course, we still have to fix our fuse holder. And this is loose. Why is this thing so loose? Thing so loose. So contrast pot, let's go ahead and yank it out of here so I don't forget. And yep, it is broken. Fortunately, I have some that I can steal. So let's just do our testing, and then we'll take care of the contrast pot and the fuse holder, and then we'll fire it up, assuming we don't find anything else besides the bad D18. So let's test our rectifier diodes. Okay, all good. R103, 3 ohms. Whoa! R103 is open. 5.6 mega ohm. Let's double check the back side here. Absolutely. Gosh dang it, I don't think I have any of those. This is going to be, wow, this is going to be a quite the interesting. Am I going to find something wrong on every turn? These are always the fun ones to do, is the ones that are kind of destroyed. The ones where you go, oh, just change HOT and it fires right back up. Those are boring. You want the ones that are challenging. So let's double check here while we have it out of circuit. The frame, you can see one leg of the resistor goes to the frame, the other one comes out down here in the middle. So if we just go to this part of the frame and we touch the other leg here, 3 mega ohm, 3.5 mega ohm. That's a goner. Well, let me see if I've got one. I do have one, but I know for a fact I don't have one like this. Only one I have is on this K7000A, which looks like this, and it doesn't have the same footprint. See how this one has the 2 supports on the bottom, and it's like a triangle of the supports along with the center. This one's on the sides. So it's going to be fun trying to get this to fit in there. I wonder if I can do some kind of magic here. Well, first let's get this one out of here. It's been a while since I've found one with an open R103. It's been a long while. Or not open, I should say. It wasn't open, it was just way out of tolerance. It's been a while since I've come across one that was like that. He hates these cans. Stay away from the cans. There's cans in there too. Johnson, name an R. Sounds like a typical bastard. He doesn't want to put holes in the cans. He wants to put holes in you. Things are going to start happening to me now. Alright, so there's that one. Let's put this out of the way. And I guess we probably should have tested it before we took it out, but I'm sure it's good, or I would have already thrown it away. 2.3, there we go. And in all honesty, I could probably use a larger wattage standard. See, it's 7 watts. I don't know if you can see here. 7 watts, 2.7 ohms. So in theory, you could use a regular metal film resistor as long as it's 7 watts and 2.7 ohms. But I don't think I have one of those without going through and doing a lot of research. So let's see if I can just make this work by putting it in here. I probably could. What kind of miracle can I perform here? Can I just cut that? If that's going to be way down here, no, I can't cut that because then it won't reach over to the frame. Am I going to have to do it the hard way? Probably. I don't even know if I'll be able to get this frame hot enough. Hey, it's working. I would have imagined that didn't work because of how hot the frame would need to get, because it's just basically a giant heat sink. I need a larger wattage soldering iron. Got it. Ha ha ha. Hot dog. Out you go. Now let's get this one out of here. If we bend that open. Don't know why I'm using my $7 cutters when I should be using this. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing on here. You know what? No, I don't. This one's bad. Got it. So let's test it again. And we have, yep, 5 megohm. Yachi machi. So now let's take this one, put this down here. So it sits. What is your malfunction? Conjunction junction, what's your function? I need to cut this little tab off of here. There we go. Hey! Alright, close her on up. I need my channel locks or something to really squeeze this in here, because that just moves around. But I'm sure it'll be alright. So now we can solder this to here. Let's get rid of the... Oh, that's going to be interesting. Got it. Alright. Got to get the solder off of this so it'll fit through the hole. That was not nice and easy. Oh, nothing is ever easy. Okay, do we have a winner here? Do we have a winner? We have a winner. Let's get it soldered in. Okay. Let's do our reading. Well, it's hot. 9, 8, 7. So, yep, as it cools down, it'll get down to 2.3 or 3, whatever it is. We'll come back to it and check it later, but that's solved now. So let's keep going. We had our good rectifiers. Now we know our R103 is okay. Let's check R104. 15. R101 should be around 5K, give or take. I can't get a good reading because the legs are oxidized. There we go, 4 point, that's good. Alright, what the heck? It's just not down far enough. Okay, we got R97 should be 270 ohms. That's good. This is R96, I think it is. Yep, R96 should be 1.8. There we go. And then 3.9K for R89. 3.9. R88 should be 1.8. I don't normally check it, but should be 1.8, yeah. Okay, so all of our normal metal film resistors are good for our power circuit. R103, rectifier diodes, ceramic resistors, film resistors. Let's check our... Oh, well, I just noticed this little screw that I found attached to the linearity coil. It goes here. The HOT wasn't screwed in. That could have been a problem. I don't think that happened in shipping because there's no nut laying around somewhere that I can see. Nope. There's no nut in the box. Do I have one laying around here? I don't have one laying around, but I'm sure I can find one. So that's another problem. I lost count on our problems. We have one, we had fuse holder, broken contrast pot, 2 bad solder pads, so that's 3. Oh, bad D18 is 4. I guess this would be number 5. The R103 is number 6. So so far we're at 6 issues. I'll have to find a nut for the HOT, but in the meantime we can test it. So we'll test. Oh well. It's in kind of crooked. That's why it wasn't screwed in, because it's sitting in there kind of crooked, but we'll test it. Okay, on the back side we got we already know D18 is good. D13 is good. D14 is good. HOT is good. C38, it's an odd reading. C38 should be on the diode setting. Well, no, let's go to the continuity mode. Yeah, should be out of limits. Oh well. So C38 is not shorted. C36 should read 0.5 voltage drop like a diode. There we go. So C36 is good. All 4 points. Voltage regulator, we should read 220 ohms we should read across pins 1 and 4. Well, it may be lower because there's an extra resistor here in circuit, or in parallel with it. So, but either way, if we go to the diode checker, I think it reads 0.18, 0.16. So that's good. If the voltage regulator was shorted, and we go to pins 1 and 4, you would not read across the B plus resistors. So you can see here, if I do the same thing up here, I should have the same reading. Yeah. So our voltage regulator should be good, and it does appear to be installed correctly. So again, this is the one, this is the wide one versus the tall one. The tall one is pins 3 and 4. The wide one is pins 1 and 4. But okay, so everything appears to be good. R103 we've replaced the diodes, the resistors, C38, C36, HOT, voltage regulator, D13, D14. Those don't necessarily, well, they're not necessarily a reason why it won't power up, but I always check those because if one of them is bad, you'll have vertical collapse. So there's no reason not to check it while it's there. Again, R91 is across these two pads here. It should be 1.2 ohms, 1.1, so we should not have vertical collapse unless the vertical IC is bad. So I think we are ready to test. As soon as I get the screw in the HOT, replace the fuse holder and the contrast pot, we should be ready to test this sucker. And I don't see why it wouldn't power up now, so let me change out the contrast pot and this. Do I have one I can steal from here? I do. Look at that. All right. We'll steal one from the K7000A here. Put that aside. Get this in here. There we go. Now let's replace this fuse holder. Let's heat this up here, get this going, and get that on there. All right. Out she comes. Get this one out of here. There it is. Get that one in here. Alright. That should be it, except for the HOT, I guess. Let's put the fuse back in. Make sure it's good. Continuity. That's good. Now technically we don't need the HOT secured to the frame to test, but I want to... Let me go through my stash, see if I can find a nut. Hang on a second. Alright, found one. So let's see if we can get this to fit through here now. Is this even the right... That's not even the right type of screw. Well, no wonder. Let's see if I can get one going here. Alright, hang on a second. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so let's try this again here. Oh, damn it. Well, we're going to have to desolder this thing because it's not going in. He soldered it in before he had the screw in. What you normally would have to do here, in an ideal circumstance, is you would put the screw through here and secure it, and then you would solder it in. So we're just going to have to... Oh, anything to make this take longer. I cannot get that screw in. Okay. So what you would normally do is get this aligned with your holes, put your screw through here. Oh, dang it. Come back here, you bad component. Alright, all left. Why are you giving me such a tough time? Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we have the screw through it. Now you solder it in place. Let's go ahead and just get the nut on, and then we will solder it in place. Okay. It's also important when you do this to not short out the center leg to the frame by bending it back too far. And I'll show you what I mean here in a moment. And we'll cut this off of here. So when you do this, you want to make sure you don't bend this center leg back so far that it touches the frame. So you want to look in there and make sure there's plenty of room between the leg and the frame. And in this case we do. It's not even close. So that, I think, was the last thing to do. So it's time to get a tube and fire it up and cross our fingers. But I think after our reflow work and our inspection and our repair of everything, it should turn on and we can see what it looks like and what happens and if we need to make any other repairs. So let's get a tube and cross our fingers. Alright, we are ready. Here's the chassis that came off with this tube we're testing with. It's perfectly fine. We have this chassis installed that we're testing. We've got our anode, neck, yoke, ground, video, and power all ready to go. Let's turn our test pattern generator on, and 1, 2, 3. We'll see what happens. Power's right up. What do you know? Do we have an image? Well, that's weird. What the heck? Oh, I've got this set to medium resolution. So off we go, back to standard, turn it back on. There we go. Obviously, we got some major adjustments to do. Somebody probably was tweaking all kinds of pots and controls, trying to get it to work. But I had no doubt it would power on because everything tested good. So first things first, contrast and brightness completely down. Flyback, can I reach it? Flyback, there's our raster lines, and raster lines are now gone. So there's where we want to have it set. Brightness, contrast, brightness needs to go down to roughly there. Contrast, focus, focus looks good. Well, there you go. Hibbity jibbity. Let's get this better in frame. There you go. Well, let's see if we can get this adjusted correctly. H position. There we go. Yep, nice square image. Looks good. I gotta say it turned out well. Let's go through and make sure we got RGB. That's beautiful. We don't have any squished sides or squished top or bottom. Glorious. We got a perfect square image. No geometry problems. I gotta say that, yeah, it's good to go. I'm not worried about color, obviously, because we'll have to, I'll readjust these and put the pots back to where I had them marked, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. What seems like an forever ago, an hour or something. Now we're into this. Yep, I'll say successful repair. What did we have? We had a bad D18. D18 was bad, shorted. R103 was open. Numerous bad solder joints with broken pads. A bad fuse holder. What else? A broken contrast pot. The HOT wasn't secure. It was soldered in improperly because I couldn't get the screw in there. What else? What else? Let me take a look here. I think that was it. I could be missing something. I don't know. 7 issues, 8 issues. Lots of issues, but a fun repair nonetheless. Not too challenging. It's interesting to, I don't come across the broken pots too often, and I don't come across the bad R103s too often. I don't come across the bad D18s that often, so this was kind of a conglomeration of a lot of different issues that I don't normally see. But yeah, that was it. So hopefully you learned something. I'm glad it worked out here. Let's get back to the screen. I'll let it run for a couple hours like I always do, make sure it's good. I always turn the test pattern generator off and hook an actual real JAMA PCB up. It's my NBA Jam PCB. You've seen me use a number of times because I don't leave this running for 2 hours with the test pattern generator. My 9-volt battery will go kaput. So yeah, I may do some more tweaking here. Contrast seems a bit too high. That's better. That's better. Okay. I may do some more tweaking, but as you can see, it works just fine, and it's beautiful. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, and I guess we'll see you on the next repair. Stay tuned.